Hey everyone, welcome back to part 3 of the college edition series. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the don'ts of college. We already covered the do's in the previous video. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out. But today I wanted to go over the don'ts. So without further ado, let's jump right on into this video. Do not go to the cafeteria right before they close. It's no different than going to a restaurant right before they close. They're not going to make you a fresh, hot meal just because you walk in and you say, hey, my name is... Sadie. Will receive remnants of what is left. And a lot of times it is the bottom of the barrel. And honestly, it's not their fault because, again, they're not going to cook you a hot meal just because you walk in the cafeteria. Just make sure that you have food in your dorm so that you can warm up and basically eat that for the night because you don't want to eat old food. So another thing that I will say is do not settle for a noisy roommate. Speaking of not settling, I will say do not settle with your advisor. I had the unfortunate experience with my advisor where she gave me the option to either work hard now or work hard later. What? In my college endeavors, and I looked at her and I said, I'm gonna work hard now. So I was hit by a car in 2014. I'll link that video down below of me explaining everything. But basically, I started college while I was in high school, had to take a break, and then I ended up going back to college a few years later, and I was trying to play catch up, and my advisor looked at me and she was just basically like, well, you can take these harder classes as you get further along. And I just looked at her because what kind of is that? So speaking of wanting to take matters into my own hand, a don't is please do not crash course assignments. It will not do you any good to do that. The deadlines are what the deadlines are. Make sure that you're spreading your time out accordingly. Do not waste a lot of your free time just sleeping or going to a lot of events that have nothing to do with you. Also, make sure that you're not just hanging out with friends, going to parties, going to clubs, and all that stuff just to live the college life. Because crashing your assignments, it will show, the professor will know that you didn't put any time or effort into that assignment. And again, you don't want to make bad waves with your professors. Trust me, it is a war that you will not win. So please do not do that. That is like the biggest thing that I could tell any future college student. Do not crash course your assignments. It's not like high school where basically you go in and you can turn in late work from last week or 2 weeks ago or sometimes even 3 weeks ago and you just can get the full credit grade. No, do not do that. A lot of times professors won't even accept work that is past the due date. So again, do not do that. And honestly, professors can be so cutthroat to the point where they will take off 10 points each day it is late. So again, do not crash course your assignments. Make sure that you're putting your time and effort into what you need to do. Which brings me to do not be late to class. A lot of professors, if not all of them, I know for all of mine, that was the case, they lock their doors. So if you're late to class, there's no getting into that class. Now, it's one thing if you let your professor know, like, hey, prior to that class that, hey, I'm gonna be running late, I have to take care of this, or hey, I'm not feeling good, I won't be there, or yada yada yada. But to flat out be late, for one, it is very bad decorum. It is very disrespectful to show up late, not only to the professor but also to your fellow peers, your fellow colleagues. It is very disrespectful to show up to class and interrupt the class just because you decided that you wanted an extra 5 minutes of sleep or you wanted to poor manage your time. Make sure that you are in class on time before that door closes. Professors know, like, obviously things happen. I'm not saying that they are so cutthroat to the point they don't care, but I will say just make sure that you're on time because when that door closes, they don't care. They will not open that door for you. I've watched some of my colleagues show up late, knock on the door. The professor will not even look their way because class has started. books are out and they're starting their lecture for that class and you're not going to get in. My next don't is don't stress. I know it's easier said than done. So going back to what I said about my advisor and being mentally ready for a class, do not stay in a class if you are not mentally ready for it. When I took the elementary statistics class, I knew that I had to take it. And again, because I started college late and I know that I was basically getting to the nitty gritty of this semester and my courses, and I knew that I had to take this class. It's one that I just need to go ahead and jump that hurdle and get it over with. I stayed in that class, and boy, can I tell you, I stressed that entire semester. My next don't is don't stress. The stress was real. My next don't is don't stress. And my last but not least do not underestimate natural disasters. When I tell you the hurricane that I had to endure was so underestimated on my behalf. So that is the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.